folks. Welcome to the Malware Monthly for May 2020. From ransomware and phishing to Android threats and novel APT, we're talking about some of the biggest stories of the month. So sit back, relax, here comes the facts. Soda no Kibi drops greatest hits collection and crime is the secret ingredient. The R-Evil, or Soda no Kibi group, stole more than 750 gigabytes of data from a New York-based law firm who represents numerous artists and celebrities. This data includes the touring details, music rights, and correspondence of artists like Lady Gaga and Bruce Springsteen. The attackers are using their own Tor-based auction site to sell data from previous breaches, and they hint at auctioning off the data from this breach later. In cybercrime, ransoming is profitable, extortion is more profitable, and extortion of celebrities probably seems like hitting the jackpot. The group also claims to have dirty laundry emails pertaining to Donald Trump. According to Forbes, the next person we'll be publishing is Donald Trump, the gang stated. There's an election race going on and we found a ton of dirty laundry on time. Mr. Trump, if you want to stay president, poke a sharp stick at the guys, otherwise you may forget this ambition forever. Which the White House responded to by labeling the group cyber terrorists. So, apparently unhappy with that title, the hackers released 169 of these emails, but it turns out to be an empty threat, as none of the emails released contain any dirty laundry, but rather include mentions of Trump by unrelated parties. So is the rest of this data this group is holding hostage going to be more damaging than these Trump emails? Time will tell. Phishing uses layoff Zoom meeting alerts to steal credentials. Cybercriminals are targeting employees working remotely by sending fake meeting invites in a new phishing attack that has been discovered on more than 50,000 mailboxes. The email looks like a real Zoom meeting invite, and the subject concerns HR wanting to discuss ending a contract or termination of the employee. The user notices the subject and panic clicks on the link in the email. This takes them to a fake Zoom login page, and if they provide the credentials, then the attacker now has them. The fear of termination and the familiarity so many of us have with Zoom invites these days make this attack very creative and probably effective. From here, there are unlimited possibilities to what the attackers might be doing with that login information, from selling it on the black market to trying to reuse the same login on other sites. Zoom isn't standing by though. According to their CEO in a statement to Bleeping Computer, they are being helped by hired intelligence firms to find these password dumps to reset the impacted users' passwords. Cool. New Android malware that steals banking passwords and two-factor codes. Security firm CyberReason discovered a new Android malware family called EventBot that can steal passwords and intercept two-factor authentication requests. The malware specifically targets banking applications used in the United States and Europe. EventBot abuses Android's accessibility features to act as a keylogger and retrieve information from other applications and open windows. This allows the malware controller to log into victim accounts even if the accounts are secured with multi-factor authentication. Cybercriminals have been investing heavily in this malware family as CyberReason reports numerous updates to the malware over the last 6 months. So we want to make sure that folks know the importance not just of using multi-factor authentication, but also to protect the devices they use to accomplish it. 10 best practices for MSPs to secure their clients and themselves from ransomware. MSPs, or managed security providers, offer remote business services to small businesses who can't afford an IT or security team of their own to protect their networks. Due to their direct connection with multiple small business clients, MSPs are a preferred target for cybercriminals looking to infect lots of systems without much effort. However, in 2019, over 20 Texas local government offices were hit with ransomware that infected their networks through a shared MSP. To fight against this, we've compiled a guide of 10 best practices for securing an MSP, which span from simple efforts like patching to more advanced ones like continuous network monitoring. Lock and Code. We've got 2 Lock and Code episodes for you this month. First, David talks to lead malware intelligence analyst Chris Boyd about facial recognition technology and whether improving it would actually be good for society. Next, malware intelligence researcher Peter Arntz discusses web browser privacy and ways to fight back against intrusive tracking scripts.
Can you help explain briefly what browser privacy means?
Browser privacy is one of the most neglected sorts of privacy, because we are in the habit of giving companies our information without thinking twice, and that's something that we want to make people more aware of, because you can limit the amount of information that you give out, or you can limit the usefulness of the information that you give out, and both are part of decent browser privacy strategy.
New Ramsey malware can steal sensitive documents from air-gapped networks. The capability to jump from 2 systems on different unconnected networks has been theorized for decades. Sometimes it's using CPU noises to send data to another system's speakers. Others, it's about electronic signals being captured between two wires that are too close together. The ability to breach air-gapped networks is valuable to almost every criminal and government in the world. The most secure data is stored on air-gapped networks, and these systems are hard to both infect and steal from, since the systems on the network aren't actually connected to anything but each other. Cybercriminals behind a new malware family called Ramsey, according to security firm ESET, infects systems and steals sensitive documents from air-gapped networks. Ramsey collects and compresses Word documents it finds on the infected system and hides these within the code of other Word documents. It also identifies executable files found on removable and network drives, then converts them into a delivery vehicle for the malware. When these files are launched on the next system the USB connects to, the malware gets installed too. Let's break this down. Let's say we plugged a USB drive that had Ramsey data hidden on it into an air-gapped network. Once one of the executable files on the USB is launched, it will also install the Ramsey malware in the background. The malware scans the system and any removable media or network drives for Word documents, copying everything it finds into a collection directory. The collected documents are then encrypted and compressed into what ESET calls a container artifact. This artifact is appended to other Word documents found on the system to hide it from the human eye. To spread, Ramsey searches for executable files on removable drives and modifies them. These files launch the malware when executed by a human on whatever system it happens to be on. While ESET has yet to determine the exact exfiltration operations used by Ramsey, it's likely that files which have been modified by the malware to store compressed stolen files will also be stored covertly on documents found on removable drives and collected at a later date. ESET researchers believe that this malware is still in development, and they have only detected a few victims and have yet to determine its chosen method of delivery. ESET believes the people behind this malware belong to the Dark Hotel Advanced Persistent Threat Group, who historically target China and Japan. Coronavirus campaigns lead to a surge in malware threats, labs report finds. Our latest report, Cybercrime Tactics and Techniques, Attack on Home Base, focuses on recent increased malware threats which have all one big thing in common: using coronavirus as a lure. The report looks at more than attack volume. It also captures the actual models that threat actors use to try and trick unsuspecting victims, from an email purporting to come from UNICEF to another claiming to contain information about proper face mask usage. It's all here in our latest report. For links to all these stories and more, you could also check down in the description. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.